Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Levinson Associates weekly training webinar. So, first off, just a couple of things. I hope everyone is paying attention, and I hope you jot down lots of notes and questions. We also have the questions comment box. Typically, it's on the right side where there's a little GoToWebinar panel. So if you want to type in questions as we go, Andrew's going to host today's training and do his best to get everyone answers as soon as they come in. If not, worst case, we will answer your question as soon as we hang up the call. Plus, everyone that's on the call today is going to get a thank you email in your inbox before the day is up, and we're going to include all of the information that we're touching on today, including the incentive programs and more about each one of the three platforms that we're diving into. So all of your questions should be answered. We also encourage you to call in at any time and speak to any one of our marketers. They're all up to speed with every platform that we offer here at Levinson. And then if not, if worst case, you always pick up the phone. Feel free to call me, email me personally, and I'll get involved and make sure that you are 100% up to speed. That's my promise to you all. Okay, so I don't want to waste any time here. I want to make sure everyone gets out at 3 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be just under an hour. So what we're going to do, and I think this call is super, super important. And the reason why, you're going to learn about some new stuff, number one, and most important. Number two, I think that, you know, it's all too often as insurance agents, financial planners, we have some estate planning attorneys, CPAs, etc. We get very caught up in the life insurance product and the life insurance quote, and it has to be the best, the least expensive, obviously provide lots of value for the family. Yes, that's all important and that's all great. But at the end of the day, if you can provide a value add platform, right? Think about this for a minute and go out and brand yourself and market yourself as not just a life insurance agent, but a way to protect these families and a way to discuss college planning and funding and a way to make sure that this client's family is set up properly in case there's a death with the insured, with your client, right? You want to make sure that this family has everything they need and everything is outlined in case the breadwinner or the insured passes on. They know exactly where to go, where all the information is located and stored, what insurance policies were enforced, what are the policy numbers, and who to call in case of the emergency, right? Which is, by the way, is going to happen. It's the inevitable. We know that. So these are very important value add platforms that are going to help your clients and their families, right? And number two, these are ways that you can market, get your name out there, not just by saying, hey, I have the cheapest term product that's out there, okay? No, what you can do is say, hey, by the way, I have a very unique, a secure vault with built-in artificial intelligence, okay, that I can offer you, and we have 3 different programs, okay, and by the way, the first platform is free for you, okay, as an agent, to offer this to your clients. Number 2 is, hey, by the way, yes, we have life insurance products. I also have a way to pay for little Johnny's 4-year tuition at any one of our 426 colleges across the country, right? Number 3 is saying, hey, yes, I'm a final expense agent. I have the best products out there, but A, I can give you this free scholarship for your grandchildren, and B, I'm going to go over this full turnkey last wishes platform with you, and I'm going to give you an 800 number, okay, for when your spouse passes on so you know what to do, what are the next steps. We have a living will built into the platform, and basically this allows our agent to go over everything from A to Z with that client. It's like a turnkey last wishes kit or platform, okay, that's free for your clients, okay? Then the product is like an afterthought. So We have lots of marketing material. We have videos. We have marketing pieces, e-blasts that already are approved for you that we can co-brand, so you can start to get the message out now by saying, hey, I'm not just a life insurance agent. Okay, I can now offer you lots of value add by you working with me. Okay, that's the name of the game. And let me just tell you real quick, we have 3 very unique platforms that we're going to touch on. And we also have a guest speaker that's on as well. The CEO of Legacy Armour, Sahar, is joining us as well. She's going to talk in about 5 minutes. I asked her, I literally said, you have to do me a favor. I want you to jump on today's training, and I want you to go over Legacy Armour and how important it is and talk about some of the new marketing that's built in. We have a new package that actually allows you, the insurance agent, to get a marketing fee for every single client that you enroll in the platform. So some really, really cool, innovative stuff. Thank you, Sahar, for joining us. She's going to be on in just a couple minutes. But this is exciting. And here's the most important part and the most important reason why I invited you all and put together today's training platform. So without diving into a 30-minute story, I'm going to take just a couple minutes and tell you how this all came to my mind and why I teamed up with our marketing department and said we have to put a training together for our agents, because this is very important stuff. And it happens. It happens to all of us, right? Death is the bottom line. It's going to happen to us. It's going to happen to someone in your family, eventually everyone in your family. And it's up to you as financial planners, insurance agents, to prepare these clients and their families. And that's really what today's training is about. And I'll share a quick personal story. I don't usually talk about this stuff, but I think I know it relates, and it made me think about all of these platforms and how important it is for you to bring this stuff up to your clients and prospects. So I'll just give you an example. In the last 4 weeks, okay, and by the way, my birthday is next week, okay, so this all happened in the last 4 weeks. So I have I won't mention real names. I have a very good friend. I shared this story about 3 weeks ago. A very good friend of mine. She's 32 years old, and she lost her father on September 11th. He got into a motorcycle accident, went into a coma, and it was a very unfortunate situation. And like I said, I'll give you the 2-minute overview. So her father, and by the way, her parents are divorced. She has a younger brother, 28 years old. So a 32-year-old and a 28-year-old, okay? They're not very well off. I would say middle of the road as far as careers and income. So they do okay. And we're going to call them Bobby is the brother, and Michelle is, and I'm just jotting this down real quick, Michelle is the sister. I know Michelle for many, many years. I know the whole family, and I knew her father very well. So her father was going, and we'll call her father Sammy. Sammy was going through a divorce, and the divorce wasn't finalized, okay? Even though we'll say his ex-wife, even though the divorce wasn't final, she's in a new relationship, new boyfriend, lives in another state, and Sammy, right, Michelle's father, Sammy was in a new relationship. They both moved on. They separated everything except the divorce. It wasn't final. The reason why, COVID-19 comes, February, March. That was the time this divorce was supposed to be finalized. All the paperwork was supposed to be signed, and they kept putting it off and putting it off. And then the attorney said, let's do this over a Zoom meeting. Sammy said, I'm not comfortable on the computer, okay, and I don't want to do this over a Zoom meeting. Let's give it another month or two, and hopefully COVID will clear up, and we can do this in person with the attorneys. Okay, well, that day never came. So Sammy goes out for a motorcycle ride on a Sunday. Sammy gets into a motorcycle accident. He's literally airlifted to the hospital, emergency room, critical condition. He's in a coma. 2 days later, Now, keep in mind, his wife or ex-wife wants nothing to do with him. In fact, didn't even go see him in the hospital. And what happened is Michelle, his 32-year-old daughter, who's single, okay, no one there, no family, 32 years old, she has to make a decision, right, to sign a do not resuscitate form, okay, because Sammy, her father, didn't have his last wishes ironed out, his living will ironed out, his divorce wasn't final, all of his life insurance was still in his ex-wife's name. He'd never changed his beneficiaries, okay? Never changed the beneficiary form. So all of the things that we say, you never do this, you have to make sure, especially at 65 years old, if you go out on a Sunday and ride a motorcycle, you have to be responsible and make sure, God forbid, something happens, that your two kids who meant the world to him are taken care of. Well, he didn't have everything ironed out. He didn't have a plan like a legacy Armour, right, or even a legacy safeguard, okay? He didn't go through all of this with his insurance agent because his insurance agent didn't do a thorough job, okay? So anyway, 32-year-old daughter has to sign this DNR form because her father never noted or talked about this stuff and didn't have this ironed out. So she had to do this, and sure enough, day 3 comes, she has to make a decision. Hey, either her father is going to live like basically a vegetable in a assisted living facility with a breathing tube, right, on dialysis for the rest of his life, or does she pull the plug? And she decided to pull the plug. The father actually passed on September 11th. Okay, now here's what is just crazy to me, and this is what made me want to do a webinar like this and share the story. So he had over $1 million of life insurance, all went to his ex-wife, or who should have been his ex-wife. His kids got 0. They had 2 vacation homes, all went to the ex-wife. He had a fancy Corvette sports car. His son, 28 years old, who was very close with his dad, had the second set of keys to the sports car, okay, and called this woman, his ex-wife, after his dad passed. And he said, listen, I'm very sorry about what happened. I just want to let you know my dad always told me if anything ever happens to me, I'm giving you my Corvette. I'm going to keep it for the rest of my life. And if anything happens, it's going to you. And that's why he gave him the second set of keys. God forbid something happened one day. So guess what? Bobby, the 28-year-old brother, texted her, okay, and said, hey, my dad always wanted me to have the car. Is it okay if I keep the car? Okay. And she said, what time are you dropping the keys off? Okay, so not only did they not get a penny of life insurance proceeds, but he didn't even get to keep the black Corvette that his dad promised him that he could have. And legally, this woman on paper is still his wife. So she gets full access. She controls the estate. Everything is now left in her name. His kids get nothing, okay? And to make things worse, the kids had to even pay for the funeral because she was nowhere to be found and didn't want to help pay for the funeral. Okay, so you can imagine how much easier things would have been, right, if their father did the proper planning. If the father had a great insurance agent that set up an account like this online, a secure vault, that when he passed, his children were automatically notified with a ping and insurance policies and passwords and where to go for what, and his last wishes and living will attached. Okay, how much better would it have been for his children, right? How much better would he feel if he knew his children were going to get exactly what he wanted them to have, and that his beneficiary form was updated on his policies? Okay, think about all of this. This is why it's so important that we share these great platforms with you, and you share stories like this to your clients. And you know what's crazy about all of this? Michelle, right, the 32-year-old, the daughter that I'm very close with, said to me, Bill, I want you to share this story on your podcast and on your webinar because I want other people to learn from this. Okay, her father didn't mean to do this. Okay, he didn't mean to put him in this awful position, but he didn't plan properly. He should have had this buttoned up 100%. So it's a horrible, horrible story, but we can learn from this and we can share this with our consumers. Because what we do at the end of the day, yes, it's fun. Can we make lots of money? Of course. Can we help lots of families? Yes. But when you come across something like this, it makes you look at what we do every day in a totally different light. And that's why it's so, so important. Okay? So that was 4 weeks ago. 3 things happened in the last 4 weeks. Then I lose my dog. Okay, horrible situation. If you're a dog person, you know how that feels. That was about 10 days ago. 3 days ago, I lose my grandmother. Okay, and this is all within 4 weeks. And my grandmother, obviously, I'm not going to get into all the personals, but she was a very successful stockbroker for Prudential for many, many years. And she planned correctly and did everything the right way. And you can just see the difference, okay, with Michelle, my 32-year-old good friend, and what happened now with my grandmother. So the point is, do the right thing and prepare your clients, okay? And obviously it's going to help you. It's going to help this family, most important. It's a win-win. Share stories like this. Things happen. So, okay. Anyway, I know I said 2 minutes and it was 15 minutes, but I think it's just so important that we can all relate to this business and what we do every day and what it's like on the outside in the real world when these things just happen, right? It's going to happen. So, all right, let's jump right in here. So real quick, we're going to talk about Legacy Armour. And like I said, I have Sahar, the CEO, that's joining us. She even has a similar story. I don't know if she's going to dive into it. It's a little personal, but it's very similar to what I was talking about. And, you know, and this platform is a game changer for a family in that type of situation. So anyway, very important stuff. I don't want to take her thunder away. I also want to note we did a podcast, okay, and this was great. Me and Sahar, we talked about Legacy Armour and how important the platform is for generating clients, building a revenue stream, and ultimately helping these families. So this is a great podcast, 1 hour. It's on the Bill Levinson Experience channel or YouTube. Okay, you can find it. It's free, obviously, but check it out. There's lots of value add there as well. Okay, let's jump right in here. Thank you, Andrew. I want to introduce Sahar from Legacy Armour. She's also a good friend of mine, and she's got some great information to share. Sahar, are you there?
I am, and thank you, Bill, for that great introduction and also sharing that personal story with us. We can all somehow resonate with that.
Exactly. Thank you, Sahar.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm really excited to be with you all today, and I do share, I feel the passion that Bill has in terms of talking to us about, you know, those different stories that I'm sure a lot of your clients have encountered. I myself have a personal story that is very similar to that, and that is actually why we started Legacy Armour. I'm going to try to focus the theme, the common theme of my message today on a way that we can actually counter these types of stories by being proactive and helping our clients plan. And before I get started, I just want to give those of you who do not know much about Legacy Armour a little bit of a background. Our platform started as a cybersecurity company that was specializing in encrypted storage of people's information. And then we've evolved from that into a comprehensive platform that gives your clients a way to plan for the future. We give them estate planning templates. We give them ability to connect their financial information to our platform. So when the time comes and if an event happens, such as a death or incapacitation, we automatically detect that through our AI engine, and then we notify their designated recipients of the fact that they have information waiting for them. Imagine how powerful that is in terms of providing that service through you. You are at ground zero, you're working with all those clients, and then you're offering them the service through our partnership with Levinson Associates to make sure that they are planning for the future. So I just want to again reiterate the theme here that I want to really focus on is you are the most valuable asset in terms of encouraging and having your clients think about not just insurance, not just financial planning, not just, health directive. It's everything. It needs to be a comprehensive approach. And I'll touch a little bit on that through my presentation as to how we can work together towards enabling you in that role. But before I actually do that, let me give you a little bit of statistics here. I'm sure all of you have come across some of those or all at some point throughout your career. But here's the sad fact here is even in the United States, according to a study by caring.com, they've asked respondents whether they had some plan in place in case of their death. And what they found out was that 60% of adults don't have a will or plan. In the case of the story that Bill shared with us, the father had an insurance policy. So like somebody sold him insurance, right? But the gentleman, unfortunately, who's deceased right now, and that's really, unfortunate, is that he did not have his beneficiaries updated, or he did not have maybe some sort of a legal will or plan in place, something that says, well, if something happens to me, that insurance goes to those, recipients. That is very unfortunate. And he's not alone, right? 60% of adults don't have a will or plan. So let's dig deep down into some of those statistics. 19% of those of age 72 and plus don't have a will or plan. And then we now go up a little bit. So 42% of boomers, they don't have anything planned. Now you start going higher. 64% of Gen Xers don't have any plan. And then 78% of millennials don't have any plan, nothing. And since we're all obviously businesses, these are all prospects, right? These are all people that you can target. But I want to focus again on how empowering that is to know that when you're talking to these prospects and clients, that not only are you going to target them with insurance or financial or whatever products, we want you to be able to talk to them about the wholesome picture, because you care, right? It's something that you care about beyond just the initial engagement with them. Okay, so the next slide, please. And that is not enough. Those statistics that I shared with you is not enough. We in the United States also have a $60 billion problem of unclaimed benefits. So not only are some people are not having enough planning in place, there are some consequences to their loved ones beyond just the death and the immediate term after death and dealing with the finances when there's a time of grieving. But there's also these lost assets and lost heritage and lost information. And so most of the things that we see are, for example, people the loved ones don't know of certain bank accounts that exist and the dollars that are in those bank accounts. So, let's just say at some point somebody needs to pay the mortgage, or they need to find, a way to pay for administrative fees. They don't know some of those bank accounts and how much the balances are. And also, no surprise, some of those life insurance policies, they don't know where they are, who the beneficiaries are. And then, guess what? As you're already aware, those insurance policies, some of them do expire. If they're not claimed with a certain time frame, good luck, right? So, this is something that causes us to pause a little bit, So if you can go to the next slide, please. What I'm trying to really get out of this is we can no longer afford to say, well, I just sell insurance, or I just sell financial, products, or I just sell this. There's no more, yes, there's focus on a certain niche, but that conversation with the client has to go beyond that. It has to go over to the legacy planning approach, which is, are you ready? And are your loved ones protected if something happened to you? Life insurance does play an important role in legacy planning. So does financial planning has to play an important role in legacy planning. So what's legacy planning? It's a way where you, your client, will have a plan that says, if something happened to me, all of these assets that I built, my financial portfolio, my insurance policies, my estate planning documents, any important photos or documents that I care about that I want to make sure that they go to the right people. That plan has to be in place, and you can help them do that. Next slide, please. So now, this is the core slide for me, is rethinking the role of insurance agents. Again, I understand it's you're in a for-profit, business, you want to generate revenue, and we're not saying don't focus on that. All we're saying is that that role is become expanded. And in fact, there's a study by Accenture that asked a lot of agents how strongly do they want to incentivize each behavior over the next 3 years. And these behaviors are, you can see here, increasing sales of more profitable products, staying connected with customers. That was, a huge point for them, targeting new customer segments, and increasing cross-selling. So you can see that there is more interest in each one of those, what they call behaviors, over the next, couple of years. And not to mention, obviously, with the pandemic hitting us and out of nowhere, and the challenges that we have to deal with, I can actually see that, increasing sales for businesses, especially online, so you're looking for more partnerships with online tools and technologies, such as Legacy Armour. You want to be connected with customers because that's how you show you're up to, with the times, right? Everybody's using online and they're connecting. Well, you don't want to just sell the policy and then, let them be. If there's a way or an excuse or a cause for a continuing conversation, so they can come back to you for more business. Targeting new customer segments, like we said, those millennials or Gen Xers, they are a huge target segment. But how do we get to those? Let's just say you're talking to one of the seniors. How do you get to, maybe their recipients? And I'll tell you more about that. And also increasing that cross-selling. You're not just selling insurance, you're asking a question. Do you have a new financial plan, or do you have estate documents, right? And maybe through your partnership with other agents who have that niche, maybe kind of have them work with that client as well. Next slide, please. So I'm going to go over each one of those 4 behaviors and tell you how you can accomplish that through our partnership as Legacy Armour company with Levinson Associates. Levinson agents have the option to generate more revenue by partnering with us when you recommend Legacy Armour to your clients. Again, we mentioned all the benefits so far to the clients, but now I'm saying, what's the benefit for you as the agent? Obviously, it has to make sense. And so, you have the ability to generate additional revenue because we share that revenue with you, right? You become a spokesman, and in addition to selling the insurance, you're also saying, I care about you and what you need to plan for the future. But also because of that, you are also adding more revenue, $30,000 plus, depending on your book of business, and adding that to your existing revenue just by being a Levinson agent. And that is a special deal that we gave through Levinson and only through Levinson, that is not matched by other partnerships that we have in the market so far. Now let's move on to the next behavior. I'll choose next slide. Okay, so now we want you to stay connected. So here's what you're looking at, is a dashboard that your client has. When they've used Legacy Armour, they will have the ability to contact you by clicking on the contact advisor. They have a life planning progress checklist that gives them everything that they need to do to get their business or everything in order. And then it shows that it's provided by your name, your business name, your contact information, all about you. They have the ability to come back to you for more business, right? It's huge. I think, for me personally, that was one of the features that I wanted to make sure. It's not just enough to say, this is what the client gets, but it also has to be, it makes sense for you as an agent, because these are your clients, right? And you need to stay in front of them. Okay, moving on to the third behavior. The next slide, please. And that is targeting new customer segments. So when your client, they plan for everything, they have the estate planning documents, they have the financial accounts connected, they upload all of their information, but we do not mark their upload and everything complete unless they designate recipients. It's a mandatory requirement for them to designate recipients, right? Once they designate recipients, then when they want to lock that vault, we say, okay, you are now ready. You're done, you're scheduled, everything is good and it's in order with your customer's permission, of course. We're not going to go violate people's privacy. With your client's permission, you have the visibility to look at their designated recipients and you have the ability to contact them. Usually those recipients could be a spouse, but it could also be siblings. It could be, anything that anybody who's eligible for receiving their information. Well, that gives you that jump towards the next generation, and then from that, the generation after that. And so here's a reason for you when you're talking to your client to say, okay, you're good. How about your spouse? How about, if you have 18-year-old children or older, 21-year-old children. I mean, it's a conversation to have, and you have the power now through this Legacy Armour platform to ask them those questions and say, I can help them. I can help them also be protected. Okay, very important. And then last but not least, we move to the last behavior here and how Legacy Armour can help with that. And that is really increasing cross-selling. So I don't know if we need to push another button there, but yeah. So as part of the Legacy Armour platform, you get an insurance coder widget, which I'm sure you're all familiar with that. So your client gets that. Your client can see from the Legacy Armour platform access to this insurance coder widget. And when they fill that out, you will be contacted. So that is our agreement with Levinson Associates. And then the next benefit is they also can get built-in 3 estate planning templates. They get a will, they get the power of attorney, and they get a health directive template where, here we go about, for example, the DNR and not having access to that. So that is a way for your clients to make sure all that information is available. And then another feature is the connectivity to financial accounts. This is pretty cool, you guys, because this is where your clients can connect any financial institution with access to account number, balance information only. We don't care about anything else. And we don't display all the account number right now. We display the last four digits, but account number, balance information, and refreshing that when they desire from all of their financial portfolio areas. And they can choose whether or not to include it into any vault to any recipient they choose. So you might have somebody saying, I want to give that information to my wife, but I don't want to give it to my children, or vice versa. Really up to your client, full control to do that. And then last is the health card, which we mail them an actual wallet card where it has a access to their health directive. And so like the emergency medical services, if they needed to, the first thing they do is they look at their wallet, right? And then they can see blood type, any emergency contact information, any medication, and so forth. It's a very powerful tool that can reduce the time, for medical services, takes the guest out, and now they can access that information. Okay, a lot of information I shared with you here. And the most important thing, like I said, is your brand is in front of your client. When they sign up, they can see all that information. So no compromise there. We want you to be in front of them so they can come to you for more business. And, next slide is that, we have made this a win-win for everyone. We are trying to accomplishing increasing the revenue, staying connected, targeting new customer segments, and increasing the cross-selling. And so another click there, and if we can just get that, then your customer's legacy and their loved ones are now more protected, and you as a business are, meeting and, accomplishing all those 4 objectives through the partnership with Legacy Armour and Levinson and Associates. And last slide here is, I don't want to take too long, but I just want you to be comfortable and assured that you are recommending a service that has been recognized by many in the industry. You can recognize some of the names here, but we work really hard every day to make sure that our clients are exactly avoiding the story that Bill has shared with us at the beginning of this webinar. And that is our mission statement. That's what keeps me going in the morning and waking up and excited about providing this. And I know for sure through our partnership with you that, if you share, and I'm sure you share the same passion, that we will be able to help more and more people. And with that, I finish my presentation and I thank you for listening. And Bill, back to you.
Yeah, that was perfect, Sahar. Thank you so much. And I just want to explain to everyone, there's basically 3 ways to start participating and offering this to your consumers. It's free for you to enroll if you're a Levinson agent, okay? That's number 1. And then your consumer, okay, pays $4 and change a month to have the platform, okay? It's less than the price of a Starbucks cup of coffee a month. Okay, number 2, there's a way where you pay the $29 a month, you being the agent, you offer this to your consumers and then you get a revenue stream, just like an annuity, okay? And number 3, there's the VIP plan through Sahar and her team, where you pay $185 a month and you can give this out to everyone you know for free. It doesn't matter if it's 1 a month or 10,000 a month. You can give this to every single person, prospect, friend, family member for free. Okay, so imagine the opportunities. We were talking about marketing, branding, and throwing out that hook, right, on Facebook or running a Facebook ad, whatever it is. Anyone that talks to you, you enroll them in the platform for free if you're in the VIP plan. So there's a few different options here. This is all co-op pricing because we have partnered up with Sahar and her team. But think about the opportunities. Think about CPAs, estate planning attorneys, okay? They can give this out to every one of their clients for free, okay? Think about driving people to a educational webinar. You give everyone the platform for free. Okay, articles. Think about teaming up with health and P&C agencies, going back to your book of business. Think about, we're always trying to get creative with e-blasting and putting together a social media campaign. This is a great way to do it. Okay, so anyway, we're going to send you out all the information after today's webinar in our thank you email, and you can learn more or, of course, reach out to any one of our marketers. Now, we have 2 other platforms that we're going to talk about, okay, that work in a very similar fashion, that basically you're leveraging these platforms, right, to get the prospect's attention. That's what it's about at the end of the day, right? The more attention on you, the local, Bill Levinson insurance guru, the more sales are made because of that. So you're using different strategies, different platforms, right, to throw the hook out there. And then obviously you're going to talk about one of these 3 platforms or all 3, and then you're going to make the sale. So you're helping families, helping yourself, obviously, as well, because you deserve to be compensated for your time. So, okay, what I want to do right now is shift gears a little bit, and I want to dive into final expense marketing. Okay, if you're in the final expense space, very popular right now. We have these new $8 leads that are exclusive, verified. No, they're not perfect, but they work. They work, and we're seeing right now an average of 2 to 5 sales with every batch of leads. The co-op price, $8. We have this turnkey platform. It's just been updated, called Legacy Safeguard. This is free for all Levinson agents, free for the clients, okay? Again, this is a win-win. It's another value add that you get by working with Levinson. I'm going to have Andrew dive in, but you should be leveraging this. Andrew, do you want to talk about this quickly? Give the 100-footer, if you will.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate that. I'm going to quickly dive into this, but think of this just as Sahar did a great job explaining the benefits of Legacy Armour, and it's a turnkey system. Think of this as being a turnkey system marketing-wise for you as a final expense agent selling final expense, and also for your client. This packet that you see on the screen in front of you gets sent to your client upon enrollment, which is free, absolutely free. All they have to do is be working with you as a Levinson agent, and they get the will preparation kit, the last wishes guide, the different picture upload kits. They can put away all their lasting memories. It gives them advice on what to do and how to plan, and everything they need for last wishes and legacy planning. So why wouldn't somebody want to do this? It's absolutely free, and it comes with a 24/7 concierge service desk, meaning they get a membership card in the mail with your name on it, their name on it. They can call, get assistance with, where to get the funeral, what funeral home to use. Well, how much is the cost of the casket? What type of plans are available? What's the plot going to cost me? Can I get an attorney for a will or a trust? They will direct the senior to those areas and get them the assistance that they need. And this is 100% turnkey for you. This is a lead generator, right? Because when they enroll, they get a sponsorship form with their enrollment kit where they can actually add the name, phone number, and email addresses for their family and friends to get the program for free without the purchase of a final expense policy, right? So this is a lead generator for you, and it's an overall great program where if they have the plan in place, what good is the plan if they don't have the final expense coverage, right? You can plan till you're blue in the face, but if you don't have the $20,000 sitting there at the end of the day, then it does them no good. So that's where your final expense sale comes into the equation. Here on the next slide, I'm going to show you we have an entire system and turnkey training module available to you on our website. We have videos, pre-approach letters, scripts, guidelines, everything you need to know on how to best approach this to your client. We have it for you. We even have the Legacy Safeguard University, where we add new content, new sales ideas, rebuttals, objection handling. Everything you need is available 24/7 off of our website on Legacy Safeguard. So you guys need to get involved with this. The only requirement that you need to do is get appointed with Mutual of Omaha through Levinson Associates. If you're not already, contact us. We have our leads or cash for contracting incentive where you'll match or beat your level and get you some free leads to get going with Legacy Safeguard. So contact us about that. We will set you up. I'm going to get it over to Bill. We're going to dive into number 3, the SAGE Scholarship Platform.
Okay. Good stuff, Andrew. Thank you for that. So as we're going through these slides, right, and I hope you're jotting down notes, and you might say to yourself, I love Legacy Armour, and I'm really not in the final expense space, okay? No problem. If you have any agents in your downline, I would also share the training and the stories, right? And by the way, you're going to have the link in today's thank you email, so you can just forward it out if obviously it helps you and helps these agents, help those families. So that's the name of the game. Now, just a couple things I want to mention. We're going to talk about now the latest updates with the scholarship program, all right? Now, as soon as we finish this, we're going to have our question of the day. So whoever answers first incorrectly wins. Your choice. I have the new Amazon Echo here that I'm looking at, or the Amazon tablet. Your choice. Actually, 3 options. I have the tablet, the Echo, or a $50 Amazon gift card, okay? And I think they're doing that whole Amazon day right now, so there's some great deals there. But anyway, jot down your notes and pay attention, and hopefully you are the winner. Okay, so Sage, real quick, this is another free value add, okay, by working with Levinson. They're up to 427 colleges now. They're adding 2 to 3 schools per month, okay? That's huge, and the reason why, remember, you've probably heard about these the recruiting workshops that are typically done throughout the country for each college, okay? Well, because of COVID, they're not hosting these anymore. So these colleges are looking for new students. They need their admissions percentages and numbers to go up. So they're going to companies like Sage, right? So that's the reason why we're getting a huge uptick in the number of schools in the program. So again, this is a win-win. It doesn't cost you a penny. It doesn't cost the client a penny. We have over 10 approved insurance carriers, final expense products. We have like the Gerber Grow-Up Plan for just a few bucks a month, where you offer this insured's children or grandchildren a 1-year free scholarship, and there's no gray area, no small print. And we even have a new self-enroll button where if your client says, wow, this sounds great, Bill, where do I sign up? Well, go to my website, click scholarship, self-enroll, you're in 3 minutes, done. and then your client has their own, it's like a Bank of America checking account. They can go in every month. They can see how much scholarship their child or grandchild has, and then they can see what colleges are new in the program. So it's very, very cool stuff. This started with Wells Fargo years and years ago. We are the first IMO to offer this on the brokerage side with over 10 insurance companies. Okay, now there's another IMO that offers this, but they charge you, the agent, every month just to participate. Okay, if you're a Levinson agent, this is all free. So again, leverage these opportunities. Okay, if we're talking about Sage, great. If we're talking about legacy Armour, that was what Sahar went over, the online, like a safe deposit box, okay, that costs your client $50 a year, and it's free for you, okay? If you want to use the VIP planning and give this free legacy Armour platform out to every single person you know, great, that's a huge lead generator. If you want to use the scholarship program and give out, once you're in the scholarship program and it's free, you are entitled to give this $500 gift card out to any prospect, even if they don't buy a policy. Okay, so that's two new ideas of different ways you can drive traffic back to your website and back to you, which ultimately should lead to a sale. But the point is, these are great value add pointers that, again, can help you drive traffic. So that's why I really wanted to have this webinar. These are some of the statistics in the scholarship program. I mean, these numbers are huge, okay? There's a company, and I can't name the name. It's an insurance company that gives this, okay? They partnered with Sage to give this to every single member of their group insurance plan as a value add. And then think about this, everyone that buys on Insure Me Now Direct, okay, if you're an agent with us and you're using Insure Me Now Direct, if a consumer buys a product on there, they also get the free scholarship program. I mean, the opportunities are endless, but you have to go out and market this stuff. Okay, I'm going to have Andrew dive in a little more. We're just about done here. And again, we're going to end right before 3 p.m. Eastern. Andrew, you want to dive in and point out the black and white here?
Absolutely, Bill. Thank you. And I'll be efficient here. So I just want to quickly go over how the points work on the scholarship program. So as we always say, it's up to 1 year of a 4-year cost of education. So how do we get to that number? When you sell a policy to your client, you're going to get 4,500 points to that client. That simple, okay? So immediately, even if they don't buy a policy, let's say they're thinking about it, they're not sure, you can give everybody a 500-point gift certificate. Each point is worth $1. You can see that at the top of the screen here. So no matter how many points they have, it's $1 per point, okay? So you give them the 500 points for the consult, whether they buy or they don't. When they make the purchase, 4,500 points. Every time they do a client referral to you, they get 500 additional points. So the referral, the person doing the referral gets 500, and the new client gets 500. And every year after the first year, so on the second year thereafter, they get 2,000 bonus annual points to their account. And every time they do a policy review every year, they get 500 points. So this is how this can quickly grow. And to Sahar's point, it's not just about selling the insurance anymore. It's about developing relationships with the client, creating retention of your own policies so they don't lapse, and getting more referrals. This does it for you, and you don't have to pay for it. It's turnkey, and everybody wins. I don't know one person close to me that would feel comfortable writing a $49,000 check to let little Johnny or Susie go to school. It's just one of these financial reliefs you can offer to your client at no cost. So why would you not do it? So here's a breakdown of how it works. It's extremely easy for them to enroll. Quickly, I'm going to show you how it works for an annuity. Real quick, you can talk to Josh or Ashley on our annuity sales desk, but basically it's 5% of deposit. Okay, so if you deposit a $100,000 annuity, you get 5%, which is 20,000 points. Okay, that's simple. All right, so you get that in your scholarship account, and then you get your renewal points moving forward from there, just as you would before. So it's slightly different than life insurance, where you get the 500 up front and then the 4,500. It's solely based on the deposit amount. So the larger the deposit, the more points the client gets. Very, very simple. We have multiple annuity carriers that are on the platform. Also, real quick right here, how do clients access? They're going to go ahead and be able to do that through the Tuition Rewards website, okay? We're going to set you up with this when you enroll as a Levinson agent. It's tuitionrewards.com. You'll have an advisor portal. You can also do this through Insure Me Now Direct, which we're going to dive into in just a second. On our website, we have excellent training material and videos for you, okay? So you're not lost. We will show you how it works, best practices, the materials that you need. We even have Bill on the top corner there with the Sage Scholarship pin. We will get that to you once you're appointed with us and set up. That is great. So definitely leverage this stuff on the Levinson Associates website. Here's another snapshot of some of the participating carriers. You'll see these are big names: Allianz, Foresters, Mutual of Omaha, Gerber, National Life Group. These are excellent carriers, A-rated companies with IULs, GULs, term, return of premium. You know, you have every option available to your client. This is not a one-trick pony. This is not a, $10,000 premium requirement. No premium requirement, no face amount requirement. It could be a $5 Gerber plan or a $10,000 a month indexed IUL or annuity, okay? So doesn't matter. We have great direct mail marketing or email marketing templates and resources on the site for you. Here's how you enroll on the Insure Me Now Direct platform for the Sage Scholarship, okay? It has never been easier to do this, okay? So if you're already set up with Insure Me Now Direct, they put in their information, they click scholarship, it'll say, what would you like to apply? Yes, it's free. Boom, it takes them right to it, and they'll see this screen right here. When they get this screen, it'll have your Sage ID. This is your specific link so that this agent gets coded, this client, however, gets coded to you, okay? So they're going to be given your code. They click to begin. They're going to be redirected to the Tuition Rewards site where they enter your agency code and they begin the registration process. This, all in all, is literally a 1-minute process, 1.5 minutes. Depends on how good your client is on a computer or tablet, but this is extremely simple. If you're not set up with Insure Me Now Direct, we would be happy to add this to your current system. Okay, so I'm going to get back to Bill. He's going to talk about the lead generating ideas for the scholarship platform.
Okay, thank you, Andrew. So obviously there's unlimited ideas here and ways to generate traffic, right, using this platform. Here's what I think about. This is what comes top of mind. My agent hat is on now, right? If I was an agent out there in the field, think about like the ultimate door openers, right? If you're, let's say, working with seniors, right, with health insurance, whatever it is, doesn't matter, okay? For a few dollars a month, they can put a whole life policy on their grandson or granddaughter and give them the ultimate gift of 1 year free tuition for a few bucks a month. I don't know a grandparent that's going to say no to that, or a parent for that matter, that's going to say no for their children. Okay, and you're not going to get rich off of a Gerber grow-up plan for a few bucks a month, but what a great way to build a relationship and talk about long-term care and annuities, right? We're always looking for great door openers. So anyway, the list goes on and on and on, and then once they're in the program, which we've said 100 times is free, then if they refer a friend, a family member to you, they get another 500 points in their account. Every point's $1 of scholarship. Annual policy reviews, another 500 points. What does that do? It keeps your name in front of your clients, okay? If you have an online event, okay, hopefully face-to-face seminars and meetings come back soon, but even if it's through a webinar like this, give everyone the $500 gift card, even if they don't buy a policy from you, okay? I mean, this is huge. These are great door openers, and I'm just trying to make sure you all understand it, and I don't want this to be one of these trainings where, oh, Bill, it sounded great, and a week later you forget half of it and you're not using anything. Okay, I hope that this really resonates with everyone. We're trying to make it as simple as possible, and some of the new technology, and even like that online enrollment button for your clients, okay? By the way, any client that is in the Sage program, the scholarship program, you can send them to your site to enroll. That's not just for Insure Me Now Direct. Any one of the qualifying products from our 10 companies, okay? That's it. It's that simple. You can do it with them or send them the link and you're done. Okay, moving forward here. These are our upcoming agent training events. As you know, you've seen this a million times. Every single day of the week, 2 p.m., we host a different marketing platform. Most of this stuff is free for you. Legacy Armour, we're hosting a training every Wednesday at 2 p.m. With the Legacy Armour team. If you want to learn more, all of this stuff is on our training calendar on our website. Right below that, whole life sales ideas. Whole life is blowing up right now because obviously of the guarantees and certain dividends on specific products. We're going to dive in deeper on my birthday, 10/20 at 2 p.m. Right under that, our free turnkey retail website platform on the 22nd. And then this is the one that's huge. Look at the bottom. That's this new stimulus program. This is going to be like speed dating with life insurance companies. We have 8 insurance carriers that all are going to jump on for 7 to 10 minutes. And then we're giving away $100 cash if you write an app with one of those 8 carriers. Or you can combine for a $700, $800 payout on top of your comp. That's going to be awesome. Everyone that attends gets a free prospecting book on us. So write that one down, 10/27 at 2 p.m. Eastern. Okay, the Bill Levinson Experience podcast. I have a great one coming up this month. This is a big one focused on premium finance. We're launching a turnkey complete sales platform just for premium finance, and the person I'm hosting will jump on the call and make the sale with you. So if you have a client that fits into the mold, he will jump on the call with you and literally help you make a sale. Okay, so you don't have to be a premium finance guru anymore to land one of these monster cases. That's going to be big. And then, of course, last month was Laura, who runs Sagicor. That was another great 1-hour episode. I hope you check it out. And then you can see all of the past episodes. I think lots and lots of value add from our industry and other industries. Gary V, Forbes 400, Jeff Levitetz, World Series MVP, Jorge Solar, now plays with the Royals. I mean, there's some great stuff here. So check it out when you can. All right, our last slide and our question of the day, wrapping up on time. Okay, for once, this is nice. Question of, you know what, I'm going to do the Positive Tuesday quote first because I think that's even more important than the giveaway. While most only care about the end goal and not the process, you must remember that the process determines who will reach the end goal. So enjoy the process. Trust the process. Enjoy the daily grind because that's what takes you to the end goal. Very, very important stuff. Question of the day. It's a 2-part question, so you have to answer correctly. Make sure your little fingers are on your keyboard and you're ready to go. 2-parter, okay? On the average, how many colleges are added every month to our scholarship program? How many colleges, on the average, are added every month to our scholarship program? That's part 1. Part 2, how much does Legacy Armour cost your client every year? Okay, so if you're in the free platform where your client pays every month or every year, what is that cost to your client? Okay, if you answer first, you win. So 2-part question. How many colleges are added every month on the average to our scholarship program? And how much does Legacy Armour cost your clients? If you tell me the monthly fee or the annual fee, it's fine. Just tell me the right number. Andrew, do we have a winner?
Surprisingly, I think this is the first time as I do not have a correct answer yet. I'm having a lot of answers come in, but they're one question. I need both answers, and I need them both correct, so I'm still waiting.
So tell me how many colleges on the average are added to our scholarship program every month, and then how much does Legacy Armour cost your client every year? Or tell me how much it is every month. Either way.
Okay, I think we have a winner here. We have a winner. It is James A. James A was the first to correctly answer. James, I'm looking right now. James is located in Tennessee.
Tennessee. Congratulations, James A. The answer was, by the way, $50 a year your client pays. That's for the free platform where you're in for free, and you offer this to your clients. Remember I said the price of a Starbucks cup of coffee every month? $50 a year they pay, and we're adding 2 to 3 colleges every month on the average to the scholarship program. With that said, have a great Thursday, a great weekend. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope that story resonated and you are sharing the story with your prospects and your clients, because that's real life. That's reality, folks. Like it or not, it's all happening around us every day. So take care. Thank you again for your time. Look out for the thank you email in today's inbox. Take care.